Yo, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up? Good morning to y'all, man. Ballhawk here. Quick morning stream. Make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell. Shut the Hell Up Juice man is here. Hey, so I'm trying to figure out, should we serve Shut the Hell Up Juice to the Arizona Cardinals and their hiring of Kliff Kingsbury? I'm trying to figure out the best way to evaluate this hiring. I know when it comes to NFL, it's not about understanding and like they do what they want to do. So I'm not trying to figure out. I don't know, man. I guess I'm just talking out loud. Hey, look. So Kliff Kingsbury was fired by his alma mater. Then he was hired to be an OC at USC. And then was hired by the NFL. Let me know when the last time you seen that somebody got fired from a college job and then got the ultimate promotion of being the head coach of an NFL team. Boy, I know Stephen A. Smith had a field day yesterday and pissed a lot of people off because he talked about race and coaching, and that makes people very, 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 very uncomfortable in this world. You know? People don't want to really try to listen to anybody when they bring in race and coaching or race and anything. So Stephen A. Smith pissed a lot of people off yesterday when he was talking about LaFleur and then with Kingsbury. And then when you look at the coaches that was fired, I'm still trying to figure out why Arizona fired Steve Wilkes after one season though. You fire him out there. See, that's what that's what get the wheels turning when it comes to a guy like Stephen A. Smith. So you fire Steve, and then you hire Kliff Kingsbury as a head coach. I could see them saying, "Hey, man, let's hire Kliff Kingsbury as the quarterback's coach or as the offensive coordinator because we only average like 14 points a game. We need some offense." We got a young quarterback in Rosen. Fitzgerald's still here. We got DJ in the backfield. Let's hire a guy who is responsible for being a mentor to and coaching a guy like a Patrick Mahomes or a Baker Mayfield or Case Keenum. So I can see that route. But when you fire a coach after one season, you give him one season, when we all knew Arizona was going to be trash can juice when they took Rosen that early. Like, nobody saw Rosen being successful his first year. Antoine, Eric B. enemies out there. Like, I think that's what Stephen A. Like, this would cause a guy like Stephen A. Smith to evaluate the culture of the NFL and why it seems like it's the same old, same old. And when I talk about things like this, it's going to make a lot of people very uncomfortable because they don't want to identify what's really going on. I get it, yo. Some of y'all just, you want to come with data and want to throw around what these coaches lost. Oh, look at the coaching record. Look at this. Look at that. We've seen plenty of times where coaches of color had winning seasons and still got fired. They could be 10-6. And still get fired and never get an opportunity to be a head coach in the NFL like that, like they supposed to. I think that's what Stephen A. Smith was talking about. Yes, coaches should be fired if they're not winning, but we talk about the immediate opportunity when you look at Coach A and Coach B. This Kliff Kingsbury hiring, yo, this is gonna cause a lot of people. This raised a lot of eyebrows. We're not saying that he can't coach. We're not saying that he can't develop young quarterbacks. But everybody and their mama know there is no way Doug Marrone shouldn't be a head coach. He quit on the team, got another chance, and poorly mismanaged the Jaguars this year. And I think that's when Stephen A. Smith went on his little rant and he started talking about minority coaches. I think people lost sight in the context of which he was talking about, and they were more or less Everybody wants to go and pull data, right? Wins, losses, and use that to kind of deflect from the full context of what Stephen A. Smith was talking about. But this is like a Lane Kiffin type of situation. You feel what I'm saying? Like, remember Lane Kiffin came to the NFL? This is a Lane Kiffin situation. They can't be the next Sean McVay. You know, the one thing I can say about Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan, they look at LaFleur right now, but LaFleur don't even have the track record. So when McVay became a head coach, you look at him as an offensive coordinator, his offenses did well. You look at Kyle Shanahan, before he became a head coach, his offenses did well. When you look at LaFleur, when he left his boy McVay and went to Tennessee, they were ranked 29th. Now, people be like, well, look who they had. It was injuries. But we all go off data. And if you're going off data, how can you expect your offense to improve when you go get LaFleur, who had trash can juice offense in Tennessee? I mean, it just is what it is. Kliff Kingsbury, can he coach offense? Absolutely. On the college level, we don't know what he could do on the pro level. Can he coach quarterbacks? Absolutely. On the college level, we don't know what he can do on the pro level. He's a former NFL quarterback on a roster? I don't know, man. If he go 2-14 or 3-13, do you fire him also? Why did Steve deserve to get fired after 1 year? And you know, people are we gonna go to more victories? You know, so just say if they go 3-13, but the offense was, you know, averaging 25 points a game. We're going to use that as a moral victory to say, hey, that's a lot. Like, in 1 year, how can you establish a culture? The Bucs did Lovie Smith dirty a few years ago. Hey, man, Lovie Smith got done dirty with the Bears. He was 10-6 that year. He got fired. He wasn't too many years removed from a Super Bowl with Rex Grossman as his quarterback. Let's not ever forget that firing. Ever forget that firing. Let's not ever forget how Tony Dungy was escorted out of Tampa Bay and they went and got Gruden. When Gruden won the Super Bowl, he was the hottest thing since sliced bread, but we know what built the culture. You know what I'm saying? But, Twan, I think you hit the nail on the head, man. You could have a coach literally quit on a team and immediately get a job. Or still in the carousel of getting jobs. Now, I know everybody's going to point, when Stephen A. Smith was making this point, everybody's pointing at Marvin Lewis. You know, Marvin Lewis got 16. Marvin Lewis is the outlier. He's the exception. Nobody expect Marvin Lewis to keep that job as long as he did. Even though, you know, Cincinnati was always flirting with going to the to the playoffs, not the Super Bowl. But everybody we can't point to the outlier. The same thing when we talk about culture, I never include the Patriots because they are the outlier. We try to go with the majority, not the person who, you know, is the exception. But when we look at coaching these days and the opportunity to build a culture, it's a little different. But wish Kliff Kingsbury nothing but the best. Hopefully he's successful. Hopefully he can help Josh Rosen, because anytime you draft a young quarterback, you want to make sure you surround him. And look how bad they're trying to get Tomlin out of there. Twan, thank you very much, man. You know, I didn't want this stream to turn into a race comparison, but it's the elephant in the room. You see how people want Mike Tomlin, because people always say it's about wins and losses. If it's about wins and losses, why is Mike Tomlin even talked about when it comes to the hot seat? Or why do fans of Pittsburgh feel like he should be fired? He's never had a losing season. Think about that. He's never had a losing season. Never. And if the Patriots are the standard, why do people always say, well, he should win more championship with the roster he got, but the Patriots in the AFC? How they gonna get to the Super Bowl when he's going against the standard? They haven't lost to the Patriots, but damn it, they won't go win with the Patriots in their way. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of things we got to start paying attention to, man. It's a lot of things we got to start paying attention to. When it comes to the Antonio Brown and the Big Ben situation, look who they give all the excuses to of why somebody could be a prick. They get the excuse to Big Ben. He's the leader. He's the quarterback. They don't give Cam Newton that leader. They be damned if they give Cam Newton the leader. Big Ben act just as childish as Cam Newton. Think about that. I know Big Ben got Super Bowls. Eli Manning got 2 of them too. But what I'm saying is, he just as immature as Cam. He is a worse leader than Cam because he would throw people under the bus. Big Ben will unapologetically. Big Ben will make excuses of why he throws interceptions and say he not going to stop throwing interceptions. I'm just putting it out there for y'all, man. People not going to like it. I know what it is. I know as soon as we brought up race in sports, people going to do this. They're going to turn it off because they don't want to face it. Their mind won't let them truly understand somebody's viewpoint when it comes to race because everybody feel like it's only one race, human race, which is BS. Let's just cut that out. It's not one race, human race. That's a flat out lie. That's a flat out lie. That is a goal that we strive to get to. But it's not only one race, human race. That's bogus. That's the most bogus line anybody could ever say flat out with a straight face. That is a goal to get to that. Okay, people? Nobody is playing, oh, woe is me. But in order to overcome something, you have to address it. And you have to be willing to sit down and fully hear both sides. One side has been listening to the other side for many years and been told to shut up for many years. We got to start being receptive to both sides and really hash this thing out. But the Kliff Kingsbury situation called for me to really review what Stephen A. Smith was saying. Because I feel like even though Stephen A. Smith be reaching and be screaming sometimes, I feel like in context, he was on the right track. He said some things that you can debunk with data. That's what everybody wants to do. If he say LaFleur, they try to debunk it with some data. If he talked about coaches getting fired, they try to debunk it with data. But that same data can hurt them in different instances, and then they will move the fence and they will go off that data and say, well, if you look at, no, it's no well, let's use that same energy. So, man, let me get up out of here. Twan, definitely appreciate you, man, for tuning in as always, bro. We be back on at 5:30. We talked about the hirings yesterday. We talked about more than national championship on the podcast yesterday. So I think, today, I know that's going to be the elephant in the room. Everybody's going to want to talk about the hirings that's going to be taking place during the day. So that'll be a big subject this afternoon at 5:30 on the live podcast. So it'll be right here on YouTube. I'll put the number in the stream to call in, be a guest, and rock off. All right? Y'all be great today, man. I'm out.